Anyway, there's just too many upper level winds going into next Friday night, but then after that, it's all just a guessing game. And I'm just gonna go here, just compare and contrast the models. So what would happen? So Jerry's there, and then advancing forward. Any chance of development? Maybe something here by Wednesday night, but not much is gonna happen, actually. I mean, there could be something that could happen in the tropical Atlantic, but nothing much. Not even the Caribbean and the Gulf, they won't produce much. Now let's check the National Hurricane Center, and Karen, there was a named system that just happened right around yesterday, and that caught me by surprise, but even that was not going to do much. Maybe that could be Europe's problem. By the way, it's not going to do much. I mean, it's just going to be a big rainmaker, nothing more. Jerry, on the other hand, well, it is going to remain a tropical storm because atmospheric conditions are not so favorable for it to gain strength into a full-fledged hurricane, but it may brush along Bermuda and move out to the east and catch the trough. But currently it's at 50 miles an hour with its maximum sustained winds, but it's moving to the north-northwest at 15 miles an hour. That's as of about 5 p.m. Eastern. Now let's go back to Radar Omega. And this time we're actually going to talk about temperatures for the next 3 days. So let's see what we got. Now, while for your area, your temperature reading could be as high as the mid teens for the low for tomorrow morning. Throughout the U.S., we will see warm lows in South Florida and southern Arizona, but very chilly temperatures throughout Oregon, the Sierra Nevadas, and the Cascades. And plenty of chilly temperatures throughout the upper Mississippi Valley and parts of the Great Lakes region, and parts of New England, mostly on the northern side. Alright, and warmth will remain throughout the Great Plains. Tomorrow night, plenty of warm temperatures in the southern part of Florida, a lot of heat throughout the southern plains in Texas and southern Arizona, and parts of the desert southwest. Then there is going to be plenty of chilly temperatures throughout the northern Rockies, northern Great Basin, and much of the Pacific Northwest. While for your area, your temperature reading could be as much as the low teens in degrees Celsius. So in other words, it's going to be very chilly in your area. Possibly some moisture might go along with it. For Sunday morning, plenty of warmth in southern Arizona and the Florida Keys. Above average temperatures would settle in throughout the central third of the country, but it's going to be freezing. It's going to be freezing in the interior parts of the west. Yeah, and that explains the winter storm warnings throughout northwestern Montana. And in a few parts in northern interior parts of New England. And mild temperatures would linger throughout the east coast, just south of Boston, though. Sunday night, plenty of warmth throughout the Great Plains, Texas, Florida, and the desert southwest. And boy, it's going to be really cold for the Rocky Mountains and the Cascades. All that, it's going to be cold. So cold, but hold on. Oh, no. That's not what I wanted to do. While your temperature for the low for Sunday morning will be as low as the upper single digits to low teens. For the high, it'll be in the low to mid low to mid teens in degrees Celsius wild. And as for Monday morning, your low would be in the low teens in degrees Celsius. Let's take a look throughout the U.S. Warm lows in South Florida, and a little bit in Arizona and the Southern Plains, but it's not as great as the previous days, though. There's going to be a lot of chilly weather, a lot of freezing temperatures throughout the interior parts of the West, the Great Basin, all the way to the Northern Rockies, the Bitterroot Mountains, and the Cascades. All that could be the right conditions for snow, if that's possible. Alright, Wild. And now let's take a look at the highs for your area. It is going to dip down to... Oof. Okay, so at first it was going to be in the low to mid teens in degrees Celsius, but then it'll drop. It'll drop down to the mid to upper single digits. All because you're about to have this cold front. That could mean that there could be some wet weather that could happen for this weekend. And throughout the U.S., let's take a look. We got plenty of warmth throughout Florida, Texas, all the way to Arkansas, the lower Mississippi Valley, the desert Southwest. Persistent freezing temperatures throughout western Montana and the northern Rockies. And Cascades, all the way down to the Sierra Nevadas. All that warmth, above average temperatures would move east, but then you get this cold air starts sinking in into the northern plains. See ambulance. Alright, so let's take a look at the dew points. So, Wild, let's see. Wild, your dew point levels will be in the mid single digits, which means that it's going to be humid. Like, just enough to cause fog in some instances. But in the U.S., there's going to be plenty of moisture to go around throughout the southeast and the Gulf Coast, and as well as the center part of the country and the desert Southwest. A lot of moisture to go around. A little bit of moisture, but quite excessive in Michigan. For tomorrow night, you have plenty of humidity throughout the East Coast, Gulf Coast, and the Great Plains, desert Southwest. While for your area, your humidity levels would remain stagnant, which means that you're going to be dealing with some foggy conditions for tomorrow morning, but that fog with some places in your area could end up being lifted due to warm temperatures. But it's not going to be gradual, though. Your dew point levels will be just right around the upper single digits. For Sunday morning, while for your area, it'll be in the upper single digits. With the warmth for the lows, that means you'll have less fog. And in the east coast of the U.S., plenty of humidity that's going to be there. It's all building up for the right time for the nor'easter to make its move, causing some weather, which we'll get to in a moment, and plenty of persistent humidity throughout the Great Plains, a lot in the desert Southwest. Dry air settles in throughout the other parts of the West, mostly on the interior side and much of California, though. Let's take a look for Sunday night, Wild. Oh boy, it looks like that humidity levels start creeping up. While getting close, it's building up. Temperatures will be in the dew point level will be in the low teens in degrees Celsius. Humidity, there's going to be a lot of it throughout the East Coast, to South Boston, all the way down to Texas, and plenty of humidity will be persistent throughout the central part of the country, but it'll be in the Missouri and Mississippi valleys and the southern plains, but yet you have this dry air that's going to be moving in, plus some cold air, which means a cold front will be moving in into the central part of the country, but humidity in the southwest, plenty of it. Monday wild for your area, your humidity level. Whoop! No! 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 Please! Please! I did not mean to do that. Wild for your area, your humidity level. Well, at first we'll begin with the low teens in degrees Celsius, but that could change as the temperatures and the dew point will drop because of a cold front that is going to make its way for Monday morning. As you can see, cold and dry air right behind the system. That's quite a significant gradient there in terms of the humidity. In the U.S., you have plenty of humidity that's still persistent throughout the East Coast and the Gulf Coast, and as well as the southern plains and central Mississippi Valley and the desert Southwest. That's because of Priscilla. The remnant of Priscilla is going to be moving into the desert Southwest throughout the weekend and into early Monday morning. Then what about Monday night? Dry air moves in wild, which means that dry weather is on the horizon for Monday night. Which means wild, dry weather will happen after Monday morning or Monday afternoon, and then by a Monday evening and into Tuesday, you're going to be fine with better weather, but it's going to be chilly though. For the U.S., you have slightly dwindling humidity, but it's still persistent there. And Gulf Coast, plenty of humidity, as well as parts of the desert Southwest, all the way to Michigan. But in parts of the desert Southwest, it gets drier though, as the remnants of Priscilla start moving out. Now let's talk about convection. So let's see what we got in terms of convection. So for convection, what do we have here? For tomorrow morning, convection is all over Florida. On the southern part, though, some convection throughout parts of the desert Southwest, and plenty of it in eastern Nevada, a few places in Utah, just a good amount of which. No convection for you, Wild. There's none. Maybe a tiny bit, but what good would that do? Convection for tomorrow night in South Florida. Some convection, but a greater amount would be in Arizona. Then going into Sunday morning, convection would still be present in the southern part of Florida, but only greater in the Florida Keys, and just a little bit of convection still left over throughout Arizona. I would say just a little bit of convection for you, Wild, for Sunday morning. Sunday night, your convection would be gone, Wild. So, what about in the U.S.? Convection still available in Florida, in the southern part, and parts of Arizona as well. And just a tiny bit in the Great Plains, particularly in Kansas and Nebraska. Let's see what we got for Monday morning. While you may have a little bit of convection, but not dramatically though. But Florida, they have convection, but on the southern part of the state though. In Arizona too. It's a tiny bit in the Pacific Northwest, but not like gradual though. And finally, by Monday afternoon, you're no convection for you, while although there is a tiny bit, but not much though. In Florida, in the southern part of the state, there's a lot of convection there, and the parts of the desert Southwest, just a lingering amount of convection there. In northwestern California, just a tiny bit. And now let's move into radar reflectivity. So, hold on just a minute. Just need to deal with something right now. So, booyah! No spamming. Some people are crazy, Wild. Some people are just crazy. They just don't know when to give up. Know what I mean? So, let's see what we got for tomorrow morning. Storms will be adequate throughout the southeast and parts of the mid-Atlantic. LOL, yeah.